Hello, kindergarten, and happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Today, I bring you a very good book that I really, really like. Miss Kyle actually uses it a lot when she teaches you guidance lessons. But this book is called The Legend of Spookily, the Square Pumpkin. And if you're looking really carefully, I'll give you a little sneak into next week. We're going to learn this sight word, the. This is how Miss Barge does the. So now if you remember that, you'll be ahead for next week. The author who wrote the words is Joe Troiano, and the illustrator who drew the wonderful illustrations or pictures is Susan Banta. I can see this is a square pumpkin. It's not normally what my pumpkins look like. The Legend of Spookily, the Square Pumpkin. One day, in a pumpkin patch, the strangest little pumpkin hatched. Spookily was not like his friends. They had curves, he had ends. Spookily was different. He was odd, he was rare. Spookily, the pumpkin, was not round. He was that's right, boys and girls, a square. I have never, ever seen that before. And look at his face. When he sees he's different than the other pumpkins, look at how he's feeling. He looks like he's feeling a little embarrassed, and the other pumpkins are looking like surprised, like, ooh, we never saw a pumpkin like that. While the round pumpkins had fun rolling along, poor Spookily sat there, shaped all wrong. He tried and tried with all his might, but he couldn't budge. He just sat tight. All the other pumpkins are rolling around. Spookily is trying to roll around, and he can't budge. The other pumpkins teased him because he was square. Spookily wished he was round so he could roll everywhere. That is, until one night when they all discovered it's fine to be round when the weather is fair, but there are times it is better to be a square. Hey, square, fair, that rhymes, that rhymes. So everybody liked to be round and roll, except when the weather did something bad. Think about what the weather's going to do. Spookily likes being a square. Next. Halloween was just one day away. And Halloween already passed for us, but I still like to share the story with you, boys and girls. A mighty storm blew across the sky. You can see the lightning. You can see the rain coming down from the clouds. It tossed the round pumpkins to and fro. It snapped their vines, then off they'd go. So the round pumpkins were rolling back and forth, and then it would snap the vine right off. They bounced left, slammed right, bang, bash. What a sight. Spookily just sat there, filled with fright. But he was glad to be a square that night. See him right there? The other pumpkins are all flying around in the storm. Spookily is sitting still because he's flat. He doesn't roll. Suddenly, the fence gave way. Crash! Three pumpkins rolled out and into the bay. We have a problem, boys and girls. Spookily knew what must be done. It was up to him. He was the one. He teetered, he tottered, he tipped, he tried, and finally he flipped his body over on his side one time. And again he tipped, and again he flopped and flipped, and then he was moving. He wasn't boys and girls. He wasn't rolling. He was flipping and flopping. I wonder why he's doing that. I wonder why he wants to move. The other pumpkins went in the water. Maybe he's going to help them, but I don't know how. Let's keep reading. He stopped right in the gap where the fence had snapped. So boys and girls, the fence had broke right there. That's where all the pumpkins were rolling through and falling into the bay. Spookily flipped his body there to stop and block the way. The hole got capped by Spookily's body. All around, pumpkins shouted, "Hooray! Spookily the square pumpkin has saved the day." Then a pumpkin rolled and hit him with a whack. He thought his shell would start to crack. Then another one hit him with a thump, and another one with a smack. Uh-oh, boys and girls. The pumpkins are rolling and going smack, crack, thump, whack on Spookily. Wonder if he's going to break, and him and all the rest of the pumpkins are going to fall in the bed. Then one by one, a ton of pumpkins piled on the stack with a bang and a bash and a crunch and a crash. And then it all went black. Poor Spookily, look at him. All the pumpkins are rolling, rolling, rolling. He's blocking that fence, and they are all crushing him, and it all goes black. Is he smashed? Is he dead? I don't know. Let's read to find out. At dawn, when the storm stopped, the farmer came out and checked his crop. He picked his pumpkins up one by one and laid them out in the warm, sun to dry, When the last pumpkin got moved away, the farmer could see the hero that saved the day. An oddly shaped pumpkin, short and dense, was wedged right against his broken fence. Look how that makes the farmer feel when he discovers this little square pumpkin saved all of his other pumpkins. This pumpkin shell was bruised. Its stem was hurt too. But this was a brave little Spookily sitting straight and strong and true. Right then and there, the farmer knew all the seeds he ever sown. Spookily's were the best, most special seeds he had ever grown. The farmer's feeling very proud of Spookily. The next year, when it was time to sow, that means grow everything, he sowed those seeds in every row. He watered and weeded and watched them grow. And that morning about mid-June, when the pumpkin patch began to bloom, there were tiny pumpkins everywhere, boys and girls. Make a prediction. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of square pumpkins all over the field blooming. But what's going to happen? I can see they're on the farm. Some were cubes, some were rectangular, some were flat, others were even triangular. It wasn't just square pumpkins that were blooming. There was a bed of bright red ones, 2 rows of blue ones. There were polka dot pumpkins and rainbow pumpkins too. That's amazing. There were thousands of colors and hundreds of shapes. Oh, what a garden variety makes. Wow, look at all the creations that he sowed when he planted the seeds. That's amazing. It's almost making me think back to Miss Opdyke's pumpkin story, where she told us some pumpkins really are red, some pumpkins really are yellow or blue. But I don't think Miss Opdyke's book told us they were rainbow. No rainbow pumpkins in real life. Now, every year on Halloween, Spookily's patch is quite a scene. People come from far and near to see what wonders grew that year at the farm. They stop, they gawk, they gaze, they stare. Then they pick a pumpkin that's round, triangular, or perfectly square. They might get a round one. They might get a square one. They might get a rectangular one. They pick the pumpkin that is perfect for them. Look how they're all feeling super happy they got to come to the pumpkin patch. Now you know the story of how Spookily grew. Maybe someday, if you tell someone to, they'll go tell someone who'll go tell another. And maybe one day we will all discover you can't judge a book by its cover or a pumpkin by its cover, because Spookily saved the day. Boys and girls, I'll end this story by showing you a sight word. What's that sight word? Wee! What's that sight word? That's right, Sonny. It's will. Boys and girls, it's important to know your sight word so you can help me read stories. I hope you enjoyed Spookily the pumpkin. Before you go to special areas, think if you were on this pumpkin patch, Which pumpkin would you pick? Why would you pick that pumpkin? Off you go to special areas, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed that story about the legend of Spookily the Square Pumpkin. Bye.